We're doing, boys and girls? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in. Today, I'm going to try an 8 mask. That's the plan. This is going to be fun. I've not done visions in a couple of weeks, but this is the last day to do Stormwind 8 mask run, being if we can do then an 8 mask in Orgrimmar, we can get the mount and for the most part sign the event off. I still actually need a few components for my Panther as well, so we've got some vision stuff to do in general. But we'll see. Hope everybody's well this morning. One thing I should probably get up and running is a bit of a thaumaturgy in the background whilst we do this. There's a reason why we have all these accounts set up in the way we do, so that we can actually make some gold while we do some silly things like this. I'm running disgustingly low on Mechanicas again. I've got 9. Which means if we were to like sell literally one mount, I'm not able to replenish it on the auction house, which is kind of scary. So I do need to kill some rares today. Definitely got to kill some rares today. In fact, there's also, I can get a couple of bonus ones. I've got over 2,000 market research now. I should go hand those in. There's part of me that thinks I might do that right now. What's my rep with Darkfuge? Oh, we're already 3,000 deep. Oh, okay then. I don't even need the full 2,000. Let's do that real fast. Where's the this dude? So we need 14 boxes? Is that right? 14 boxes? No, that's not right. Yeah, 14 boxes. 14. Then that'll reset us to 0 with the Darkfuge, right? Brain? Think? 500 rep. Keep clicking. Boom! Paragon box. Still need the wave shredder out of this, to be fair. Can we get lucky first thing this morning with a wave shredder? Wave shredder or Mechanicas? What we saying? Wave shredders or Mechanicas? You good, Doge? What's going on behind me? And hey, we got the mount. You know what's really funny? Second attempt. Second attempt. To be fair, I'd have rather had the 2 miscellaneous Mechanicas, to be fair, but the wave shredder's cool. From my understanding, though, what that actually means is that we're guaranteed. Are we now guaranteed Mechanica out of every one of those now? So every 2,000 market research we get, Mechanica is guaranteed. Boom. Easy, just loot it. You know, right? That's it. Just loot it. Job done. 50-50, you get it or you don't. This better mount add-on thing, or whatever it's called, seems to believe this is a 0.06% rarity mount. Sheesh. Although a lot of the undermined ones are apparently quite rare. Even the Darkfuge Demolisher is a 0.4%. 1% of people have a Spectral Tiger. Really? 1 out of every 100 people has a Spectral Tiger. Jesus. I'm not sure I believe that, if I'm honest. Alright, well, cool. There we go. Shiny wave shredder. Boom. Good way to start the stream today. That leaves me at 617 market research. Bunch on other characters that I could pull in. There's an add-on to do this, but what I don't know is if it pulls from other accounts. I mean, it must pull from other accounts, right? Even if the tooltip doesn't state, because the tooltip will only show characters on your actual account. I still refer to my previous statement, though, that why this is even a thing in the first place, when they've gone to the degree of, like, coding this transfer system. Doggo, what's up, girl? You're not happy? I put the aircon on for you, it's chill now. Put the aircon on. Who's a good girl? She's, well, floofy dog. Floofy dog. Floofy dog in the summer. Based on a sample size of 22, this is correct. 1% seems high. For the spectral tiger, it seems very high. It's all the little scraps of market research that are like on all random ass characters. Which is, doesn't seem like a lot, but it, you know, adds up clearly. My problem is I've got like 100 level 80s these days. So there's a strong chance that we have to press this button a fair few times. But it's already found me more market research than the tooltip said existed. But yeah, why did they spend all the time and effort doing this system? Why didn't they just make an account-wide pool that when you earn a currency, it just goes straight in the pot, and then it's just yours to use? Okay, we're down to like single items. It seems to do it in quantity. Yeah, there we go. 1,244 market research left. Full day planned, rares to replenish, miscellaneous mechanicas, 8 mask, stormwind attempt, then standard goblin things. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's the plan of action for today. That's the plan of action. There's some shopping to be done for bargains, region-wide, wherever they may be. That's, Manthe Arbitrage Limited doesn't have much stock to sell right now. Where there be no stock, there be no sales, if you know what I mean. So we need to fix that problem. Technically, I think I should be doing some delves as well today. I've kind of left everything to the end of the week. This wasn't really by choice, more the fact that I was hyper-focused this week on making sure that we got all of these dudes leveled with the Burning Crusade time walking. I'm glad I've got everybody leveled. That way we can not have to worry about that too much towards the end of the week. But it does mean I'm pretty sure I've done like 1 delve this week. I've not even done 1 delve this week. This might be the first week of the season where I don't get anything in my vault, you know. Does that mean I have like negative on the crests to upgrade stuff? Probably. Right. Well, we'll see how this goes then, shall we? We'll see how this goes. I'll tell you what I haven't done. I don't think I've upgraded this either. No. What does it cost to upgrade this now? Well, I don't care what it costs. Just give me all. Give me however many it is. We have the memories. Purchase enough echoes in Azoth to research all the items in the hourglass.
I have lived to see them return.
So now we get party members' maximum sanity by... Well, that doesn't really matter, does it? But party members' sanity by 100. Party members' sanity by 150. First revival on an ally costs nothing. Reduced sanity drain by 40%. And upon losing all sanity or health, you revive instantly and gain 500 sanity and full health. Occurs once a vision. So we get ourselves a cheat death. 1 cheat death per run as well now. Right then. Well, before we do this, let's get these dudes doing something. Just put that in the bags. Start with that. I bought some materials. We need double buffs, seasons, quickness, weaver buff, thaumaturgy. Go. Buff, thaumaturgy, go. Buff, thaumaturgy, go. Buff, thaumaturgy, go. Right. Let those do their thing. Estimated 17 minutes before they run out of stuff. That's fine. That's within the time frame of 1 bountiful vial, which is what we want. Now let's go have a little look in here, shall we? Do we step it up 1 mask at a time? Or do we just full on YOLO it and just max send? I mean, actually, looking at it, I haven't fully maxed out my tributes even, but what's the Mask of the Daredevil? Increases sanity from creatures by sanity damage by 400%. Yeah, that's one that's going to sting, isn't it? Multitudes gives us more shit to kill. More enemies will be present. Is that all 8? No, missing 1. Mask of the Long Night, which is maximum sanity reduced by 50%. Okay, so that's all 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This is going to sting. This is going to be painful. This is probably going to take a couple of attempts. Right, I need slightly less tunes in the background so I can maybe probably not concentrate on not dying. Do we go full screen for this? Let's go full screen for this. Right, let's see what we can do. Don't forget the button. Yeah, I'm going to need to remember the button. I've not done visions for a couple of weeks, so this is just going to be a little bit chaotic, I think. As I desperately try and remember what the hell's going on. hopefully not get it horribly wrong. What's the explosion thing about? I don't know. Right, we need to figure out what potion is a bad potion. Bad potion is blue. Blue is poison. Oh, it's nuked my pet. Shit, that's not good. Ouch, this is gonna hurt. That's one of the mistakes we don't make. Ow, I got stunned by that twice. Hogger? Okay, now. Right, well, it looks like I've already used me cheat death. How many pets dead? This is not the greatest of starts, is it? Okay, using an orb here just to heal is... Oh, do these orbs not heal you anymore? Oh, they do heal you. But a lot slower when not in combat, okay. I know burning an orb here is just not good, but... I need to pay attention to that kills until Nemesis spawn business. Because that caught me out. Bolstering hits hard and it boosts his spawns a Hogger. Is that what it does? Okay. Or it boosted Hogger even, whatever, yeah.
The light. Foolish paladin. The light has abandoned you. Embrace the void.
Yeah, we've got to do the whole slightly slow and steady thing so the bolstering doesn't get outrageous and just one-shot my pet. Luckily, it will one-shot my pet before it will one-shot me, but still then going to run after me. Oh, pulling that dude at the same time, that was not the play. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be quite the challenge, isn't it? This is going to be quite the challenge to do this with all masks up. I fully expect to die a few times.
Place you in immense peril. We must push further into the visions, but not if we lose you to madness.
There's part of me that thinks I should probably step it up, like 6, then 7, then 8. But the reality is if I just throw all masks on, then at least I know what I'm dealing with. And we can slowly get better at it with just all the debuffs.
Stormwind City, a bastion of the holy light.
Here's a question. Is using Zirodormi still a massive debuff? I assume it's probably a monster of a debuff still, right, surely?
A windrunner forces all to submit to the old god, or be purged.
I doubt they've changed that, right? Yeah, I mean, I could obviously buff up to try and do this as well, but... we use buffs when we feel we might be getting close to a completion. I'm not going to waste buffs on learning. You know, money's tight. Can't be wasting that moolah. No, 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 no. Annoyingly, I might actually have to change out of Twilight Devastation to what is actually the mathematical best. But I'm already cocking this up a treat. Where did these flipping creepy crawlies come from? Why am I taking so much damage without seemingly being hit by anything? Okay, the black one's the bad one.
Please, save my son.
Pet do pet things, please. How did misdirecting onto my pet not make a blind bit of difference to those things? Okay, well, first Hogger dealt with without too much controversy, other than it did kill my pet. Oof. No refunds. Yeah, that's our sort of community guild on the EU. Predominantly a crafting guild. Or at least should I say, it houses probably some of Europe's most OP crafters.
Forsake the light.
Foolish paladin. The light has abandoned you. Embrace the void.
Oh yeah, this runabout business is a problem. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 oh god, I died. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Severely out of practice with this. I'm dead. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on there. You just escaped prison, you don't have the resources to buy a flask. Well, that's true. Yes, I'm wearing my prisoner suit again. That was, as I was informed of yesterday. Hydrogen sauna utilizing hydrogen combustion technology? Really? That's quite funny. Use the Cleffu from the raid. Everything I've read said it's the #1 pet for solo content. I like my fancy cocks. I'm not overly fussed about the whole min-maxy stuff. There's a strong chance that if this absolutely slaps me in the face, I'll just pass on it. Like, it's no biggie to me if I don't do this. It's just I thought it'd be kind of quite cool to give it a little bit of a go. But if it ends up being astronomically frustrating to do, I just won't bother. It's one mount, I don't care. And this is that stupid Natasha Bedingfield song that's really annoying. Right, I don't know what's going on here, why it did a big splash thing, but... Is that bloodthirsty? Right, blue is poison.
Please, save my son.
Our damage is fine as long as they don't get too heavily bolstered and I don't take too many unnecessary damages. It shouldn't be too bad, but I'm pretty sure some of the bosses are going to rip me a new one in this, with this many masks on. Right, this is the pull where we trigger Hogger. For some reason I was already at half health. Maybe doing this pre-coffee's also maybe not the plan. Pre-coffee and 8 mask runs is... I'm gonna have to pop a flip in. Oh, I died anyway. Oh, shit the beds. You shot me. Yeah, there's probably also a bit of a pull order that should be done in here as well. I think. Maybe even pulling a little bit of the trash to spawn a Hogger at the right time so you don't spawn it mid-pack. Finding 8 mask runners melee, pretty difficult to be honest. Always get wrecked by a couple of the bosses. I mean, I'm not exactly having a great time of it right now as flipping BM Hunter, which is considered easy mode.
Embrace the void.
I'm led to believe there is still technically one node left on the talent tree that's kind of a secret hidden one, which is probably the catch-up one. Those who tested on the PTR probably know exists, but... yeah, it's when these dudes have got like 8 stacks of bolstering, they just absolutely carve through me. Oh, we've spawned a Hogger again. These dudes are going to end up buffing Hogger, which is not exactly what I wanted. Let's get rid of you. Oh, you nuked my pet. This is where it all goes horribly wrong, because I can't revive my pet because I'm running around. Absolutely no health. And I'm running around like a moron. Okay. Getting there. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Kills until it spawns something. Let's get rid of this pack. Ow, there's no way that hit me. That is a big stinky lie. Ah, now I've ballsed it up big time again. Pulled another bonus pack. This is not going to end well. Oh, third pack just for fun. Flipping hell. Oh, and a hogger. Yay! When it rains, it pours. I know I've got no health, by the way. I'm very aware I'm at 0 health. Oh. Well, I wasn't expecting to get slapped. Sheesh.
Critical corruption levels detected. Initiating evacuation protocol.
Our sorties into Nazoth's mine place you in immense peril. We must push further into the visions, but not if we lose you to madness.
The hogger's rough, yeah. Welcome in, Lady Daisy. Good morning, good morning. Get rid of the stacks by simply jumping once and you get free mage food if you queue for follower dungeons, as they always drop the mage tables. Just checked with Ziradormi tank. Clone health points is roughly double. Damage does feel better than week 1. Mage food is very helpful in the visions. Tried an 8 mask a few times yesterday. It's hard for Hunter, I think. Well, it's one of those that it's probably really easy for Hunter if your pet keeps aggro and you don't get hit. Basically. The lack of interrupts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you do need to interrupt, don't you? Feels like Prot Pally could have some success with Avenging Shield. I don't know. Even using a Clef Hoof, it dives. I'm going to test if the extra damage is extra damage. In fact, no, give me a tank. Give me a tank. I'm intrigued by a tank. In fact, no. Go healer. Go healer. Because heal me, even if it boosts the health of the mobs, it might allow me to test, it might allow me to progress a little bit deeper into it, just for the purpose of seeing what's what. And then, once we know how the bosses feel with 8 masks on, we can get rid of Ziradormi. Because, yeah, it's clearly boosting the health a bit. But if she keeps me alive, it's a win. Even if she isn't going to heal my pet. Blue is bad. Red is fire breath. We'll have one of them. This might be the combo, you know. This might be kind of a little bit like Delves. Having Ziradormi as healer might be the combo. I need to be a little bit more focused on killing the mobs equally rather than nuking one down, if I can. He says as he Twilight devs the entire fucking zone. Right, Ziradormi, heal me. This is your time. This is your time. No. Is she healing me at all? I'm not sure she's healing me at all. Nuking equally sounds like a job for a demon hunter. That's true. Oh, wait, shit. Hang on. Why am I alive? What? Oh, wait. Whoa, wait, hang on. I was waiting for it to be over. Oh, she rezzed me with an orb. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I'm not used to having a friend. Oh, I was just AFK waiting for the flipping end screen. She loves a good hop, doesn't she? Bouncy, bouncy all over the place.
I will never forsake the light. Foolish paladin, the light has abandoned you. Embrace the void.
Right, when's a Hoggard due? 9 kills. That was 9 kills? Flipping hell, 9 kills happens fast. The irony for me is I don't think sanity is going to be the problem in this. As they say, it could be a skill issue. Oh, no, flipping, stop randomly running places. Oh, that was an odd place to disengage to. Right, panic over, panic over. Right, we're going to get rid of you simply because it seems to be that I'm going to accidentally aggro you regardless. Ow! Where'd all my health go? What's going on? Why am I being nuked? Ziradormi, fix shit. Right, one of these dudes is doing an absolutely mental AoE. Okay, this is scuffed again, my pet's dead. I think I need a lot of practice at this. I'm quite sure I'm going to need a lot of practice at this. A lot more practice than I was expecting. All the debuffs stacking on top of each other is making this quite frustrating.
Place you in immense peril. We must push further into the visions, but not if we lose you to madness in the process.
How are these guys doing? Oh, these guys are finished. Because I can't be bothered to figure out all of this yet. Just nuke down some more. Do another stack. Do it again. One small pack at a time is my take. No need to rush. Yeah, that's what's interesting to me is it does feel as if it's not going to be. It's not going to be a rush fiesta. That the slow and steady might actually be the win. Did I pop a nut buffs on these? No, I didn't do buffs on these. I should probably press sort as well before we start, otherwise it'll go silly. Yeah, like it's done now. Right. Hey, we go again.
Stormwind City.
How vital do we think having these
Now fallen to the
bonus tributes are going to be? What is this one? Further empower this by killing bosses.
Illyria Windrunner
Empower
forces
this by
all to
collecting
submit to the
potions
old
and
god,
crystals.
or be purged.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about the crystals.
Is there something you wish to discuss? Until next time.
Might just take me a bit of time to practice each zone till we get each zone down. And then once we've got each zone down, then we can think about pushing the whole thing. Wow, did that trigger my respawn already? Have I triggered my respawn in like 5 seconds flat? I think I might have done. How did I take so much damage so quickly from them then? Maybe I'm not prepared for this today. Mage Court is the hardest. I always start there. Is that because of the semi-constant perp spawning just stuff all the time?
Please, save my son.
Right, Hogger's going to spawn now. Hogger out. Wow, nuke to the pet. Move to the pet again. No enrage, Hogger. Naughty Hogger. Okay, we get 150 sanity every time we do kill Hogger, though. What's in here? Oh, this is the crystal dude. Okay, I didn't realize where the crystal dude was in there, to be honest. I think I still need the mount from these packs. Now's maybe not the time to be farming for the mount, but good practice all the same. What? I nearly got one shot there. I don't even know what that was. Something hit me for like 1 billion damage. Piercing shot hit me for 8 million damage. Okay, I need to pay attention to piercing shot then. I got hit but for 8 million damage from a piercing shot. Right, okay. That hits a little bit harder than I remember it hitting. Using binding shot on cooldown limits some of the deaths and interrupts. Yeah, I don't even know if I've spec'd into binding shot. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. The fact that I can't see it means I probably haven't. I certainly haven't keybind it.
Never forsake the light.
Right, let's try this one again.
Foolish paladin. The light has
When 5 are on you, you can't resist running to get them off.
void.
Mental assault sounds like something we don't want to be dealing with. Spawned a Hogger and stunned. Gotta love that. Stop running! Pet's dead. Okay, we're good. We survived another pack. Wait, what's going on here? What's this dude doing? Go away. I think I get stunned when he touches me, doesn't he? Okay, heal up. Men pet. Insta stunned. Double pull. Right, this is gonna be tragically bad, isn't it? Pet's dead. Couldn't interrupt a mental stun. Running around because I can't remember to hop. Ah, there's too much going on for my brain. Too much going on. We should stick to goal making. I can do that. No, don't be touching me and stunning me, you dum-dum. Why am I still... Who am I still in combat with? Burrowing appendage. Get pewed. Okay. Every pack is like... Oh, we survived. This pack was a nightmare last time. Something in here did astronomical amounts of damage. Like that. What is doing the flipping... Something in that pack is doing an AoE that's ruining me.
Critical corruption levels detected. Initiating evacuation protocol.
Oh, Ziradormi's not healing me this time.
Sorties into N'Zoth's mind place you in immense
Why didn't Ziradormi heal that time? Oh, I don't know what's going on with this game mode. You know what? I'm about to say that this is far too much like hard work. I should knock it down a 2, farm some mementos now, I think, maybe. Take a couple of the crazy masks off, do some 5 mask runs, farm some mementos, call it a day. Time to play some 2-point museum. Does people in general not know that you can get rid of the forced running thing so you don't have to force run? Yeah, you didn't say a minute ago, you just jump and it gets rid of it, but adding jump into my rotation is something I can't remember to do. Tried it once, didn't enjoy it, didn't understand it. I kind of like the concept of this, but it's one of those things that you need to chip away at and slowly get better and better at and like learn and stuff. And I haven't given it any time or any focus in about 2 weeks, which is why I'm very rusty. Certainly rusty enough that stepping into an 8 mask run is probably not the play. We've got the full tree unlocked though. We've got 18,000 mementos with 96,000 to get everything from the event. We might just put this on farm a little bit. Might knock it down a mask or 2 and just farm out some of the rewards now maybe.
Take all the time you need.
I've got enough going on in the game already right now that I'm not overly... I don't have a huge amount of desire to throw too much time at this. Maybe doing like 4 or 5 mask runs, we could farm out the mementos in an afternoon, but
This is when you
at the moment, we might not stress too much about this. There's other things I could definitely be doing. How are these guys doing in the background? These are smushing through materials nicely. Ignore the profits. I don't expect this number to ever be right because this is taking it from current market values. I spotted a bunch of leather on the cheap earlier, and so I was like, you know what, we'll have some of that. We'll have a little play. I put these thematogists together over the last few days, last few weeks. So I thought, let's see what we can do. Run a test. I think I spent about 4 mil on mats. We'll see if we can spin 4 million worth of materials across the 4 accounts and see what we can get out the back of it. But for now, what I might do is just go do a quick 11, get some gilded for the week, something that we know we can do without too much stress. The idea is good. It's just like a lot of things nowadays, way too complicated. I mean, an 8 mask run is meant to. You know, you got to look at it from that perspective. That, you know, an 8 mask run is meant to be as complicated gets. You know, that's for the people that strive after that sort of stuff. I like the concept of the game mode. I really wish they just gave it to us so we could work on it. Because not to dig up the time gating thing again, but when I play something like Rifts, I periodically get better and better and better at them the more I play them. But then if I put them down and don't play them for a week and come back to them, I've taken 3 steps backwards with my, like, you know, my skill goes backwards, which is another one of the reasons why I don't particularly like all the flipping time gating, because it kind of puts me a few steps back. Oh, I haven't even got keys. Okay, well, we'll just do this one without a key then. The reality is, I'm here for the gilded crests anyway. There we go, Skelly mode. I need it to not have any masks at all. It's just, well, I mean, you can do that. You can do 0 mask runs all you like. The masks are only there to add extra challenge if you want it. If anybody asks in chat, though, we cleared the 8 mask runs, right? If anybody asks. Yeah, we did that. It was easy mode. Completed it, mate. Move on. 1.5 million sales yesterday. Nice. On a Monday? What are we selling on a Monday? Congrats on the 8 mask run. That's impressive. I should pin that comment. So that's an easy pin, that one. But yeah, genuinely, I could do with getting the rares for the Mechanica farm. I've killed them all, I think, on all of the teams this week. So it's just the hotel rares that are sort of mandatory step, which we can probably bang out in about an hour just to keep the Mechanicas ticking over. Like I said, whenever I drop below 25 Mechanicas, I get a little bit itchy on the basis that I worry that if we then sell a mount that I won't be able to replenish it straight away, which is downtime in potential auction value and sale. So I need to farm up some more Mechanicas. Because I've actually had not terrible success over the last few days selling some of this Mechanica stuff. It was a bit ropey last week. I don't think I sold much at all last week, but I've sold nearly 1 pet or mount a day, I think, this week. So it's why I've ran out of stock. I made the mistake last week of like buying a bunch of bonus gophers and sending them places, which the reality is that I kind of needed those Mechanicas. I needed that stock just to keep Draenor supplied. Sold a lot of Abyssal fragments, bought them for about 800 gold each, selling them 5k each, big profit numbers. It's probably because most people have no idea they really exist. It's a cheeky little market, that one. Because what is it, 20 you need to make the mount, right? And people will absolutely pay a like, you know, if they've got like 18 of them or something, they'll absolutely pay a premium to get the last 2. Or even people come along and just buy 20 in a go. Call it a day. Oh, you usually just sell 20 a time, is that it? People haven't even bothered getting any of them themselves. I think they were a world drop, weren't they? So I guess it's kind of they're kind of you can't really target farm them so much. But maybe I'll shush, because otherwise it will tap into your market more than you probably want. One an hour. Yeah, not when I was 8 boxing BFA, no it wasn't. But I don't think you can do the same really now. Back in the day it wasn't 1 an hour. It probably is now. Where's this dude? There we go, number 5. Nice. You need such a big operation to farm them up, it's crazy. That area was botted, I'm pretty sure it was. That's why the price was as low as it was. Golden Main Range was also really low. There was a big, I don't know if Golden Main was being botted per se, but there was definitely some very, very heavy farming of it going on for a while. It did absolutely nuke the value of it. That happens once in a while.
Treasure close by.
You bought 13,000 of them? Wow, okay. Yeah, no sensible person is going to be doing that. I guess you're safe then. Part of monthly arbitrage limited is I was looking at potentially crafting some stuff just so I've got a little bit more traffic on each realm. I dug out I found it in Google Drive. I found an old Panther crafting calculator I made like 10 years ago. But it kind of looks like crafting and selling Panthers is very, very not worth the time. I'd be more inclined to flip them. The fact there's 20,000 gold of vendor mats in each Panther mount. 80,000 gold in the big one. I'm kind of more tempted to just buy them when I see them cheap on random ass realms and then sell them somewhere. Crafting them doesn't seem like it adds much value. Even when you know all the numbers and know what you're doing. That is assuming my prospecting data on Ghost Iron ore from about 10 years ago is up to date, which is probably not. I don't think you're going to be... I don't know how the gems exist. You must be able to get the gems from something other than prospecting. Because the gems are... Pandaria gems are way, 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 way too cheap to have ever come from prospecting. How goes the 8 mask run? Oh, solid. We one-shot it. Easy mode. We called it a day. We moved on. Am I a convincing liar, boys and girls? No, we sacked it off. It's like, we gave it a few goes and I suddenly realised that after not doing visions again for a couple of weeks, I'm rusty. Stepping straight into 8 mask runs on the last day was not the play. Not the play. We could have ended up wasting the entire day trying to progress that. And I don't care that much to be that fussed. Oh wait, shit, hang on, I'm not in Skelly mode anymore. Suddenly noticed a breath bar on my screen. I'm like, that's not cricket. There we go. Need to down smugger or you'll never sell it. Is that the trick, is it? You got 230k for the mailbox? GG Rose, well done. I like doubles your liquid gold now, doesn't it? No, stupid illusions, get off my ass. Oh wow, what's going on over here? We're going to pull all of those now, aren't we? That wasn't the plan. That was not the plan. Oh, and he pointed me Twilight Dev the wrong way. Okay, they seem to be... What's going on over here? Are they coming to play or are they not? They are coming to play, right. Right, now the boss. How long have we got on Skelly mode? 8 minutes. Loads of time. Right, must remember mushrooms. Mushrooms equals bad. These are the mushrooms that equal bad. And down he goes. That was much smoother. Much smoother than the mask runs. Yes, we can deal with those. Much smoother. There's some ruined. There's some more ruined. There's a Nemesis box. Delver's bounty map. Okay, that kind of means I need to do... I'll go buy a key or something. Okay. Right, 111 done. 2 to go. 1 down, 2 to go. I should go buy 2 keys though, so it can at least open the boxes in them. It's kind of foolish to turn up without keys. I should use one of these 500. What have we got? Radiant Echoes. I've got 72 Radiant Echoes. I should just go use some of these, shouldn't I? There's achievements and all sorts of shit for using these as well. I just can never be bothered. That's my problem. I just can never be bothered to go and use them. Who do I buy the keys off? Is it you? How many? I have 32,000 undercoins and I need 48,000 apparently to do everything. Or to get everything. Or wait till next season where they all turn into resonance crystals instead. How are we doing, Bakoto? Good morning. Hope you're well.
Deals for a friend of the Grumbles.
Radiant Echoes go away at the end of the season. I learnt that the hard way. Yeah, if I want to claim any of the achievements and stuff from them, I should at some point use them. But the achievements are annoying. They're like, do the Radiant thing in all the different spots, and it's stuff like that I just can't be bothered, especially on something that I don't really care about in the first place. But you bet your ass if I don't do it, there'll be something in the meta achievement towards the end of the expansion that will cause me to kick myself for not doing it. Right, we got excavation, sight, spiral weave, or micromancer. Well, let's fly down to
and be heard.
Probably micromancer caverns. We'll do that one. Whilst we fly down there, let's get these dudes busy again. They've accidentally finished. Right, you're busy. Fourth one up and running. Now part of me that might go full tilt with this, and I might give all of the Akirite to my Jawncrafter to then prospect after this as well. We might shuffle these mats through a little bit deeper than just the single layer, considering I have full prospector set up now as well. And there is that said, there seems to be a bit of a global shortage, and Akirite is up 20% right now, so I also might just sell it. Oh, actually, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to buff up. Whoops. Right, you guys are busy. Let's go do another delve. .668 item level still.
Flame is powerful. Even those outside our faith can wield it through the use of holy oil.
Wait, what? Ah. I didn't use the keys. Bought them, but then didn't use them. Oof. Thought something was going weird then. Right. Which one's this one?
Outsiders are
Do something with piggies. I'll get your pigs back and make sure the Fongorians pay. Alright. We go piggy hunting. Or piggy saving, actually, technically. What brings you back to Delves just for the gear upgrades? Crests, really. It seems kind of silly not to at least do my 311s each week, annoyingly. This is exactly what I said at the beginning of the season would happen, that I would feel obligated to do 311s every week, even when I feel that it's not that necessary, just because, you know, crests are a thing. And it's my only source of gilded, and at this moment in time, it's my only source of upgrades as well. I don't super need any more gear than what I've got, but 311s isn't and shouldn't be that difficult or time consuming, really. But yeah, there's not much desire to do 8 every week, I can say that for sure, to fill the vault. There's nothing that comes out the vault that's going to be an upgrade for me anymore, really. Outside of very meaningless upgrades like a random tertiary or something on a set piece, but...
There's treasure close by.
But yeah, gilded crests I still need lots of. Since they moved the bar halfway through the season, I all of a sudden need a lot more gilded than I first expected, but I'm kind of very heavy into the diminishing returns on the gear upgrades at this point, so that's why I'm not doing more than just, do my 311s. I might do the fourth delve today, just to get the double vault slots done, but I'm sure as shit not doing all 8. Oh, this is Twilight Devastation, by the way. This is one of the Vision Helm enchants. It's not really the best one for a hunter, but it's the one that looks the coolest and is the most fun. Mathematically, like, there's one that just gives flat secondary stats, which is the best one, but it doesn't do anything, or it's just boring. A 5% lift to my DPS I couldn't care about, but an ability that goes brrr and looks cool, even if it doesn't actually really do that much damage. I need to remember I'm meant to be hunting these piggies down. There's one. What? Where did you come from? Bonus piggy? Oh, not all the piggies born equal. Okay, some of them wish not to be saved, apparently. I always did 4, but I'm doing many alts, so that's almost necessary if I want to preserve some sanity. Yeah, I can barely get around to doing 4 on one character at the moment, to be honest. I spent all week though leveling characters to 80 this week, so kind of burnt out a little bit on the time walking leveling, but we got the job done. I don't need to think about leveling basically for the rest of the expansion now, unless for some reason I decide I need more than 100 level 80 characters, which I don't think I do. If we get some dumb level easy mode again in Legion Remix, then I might consider leveling some more, but other than that, I'm happy with what we got now.
You got to dodge!
I was kind of surprised to see after leveling all of those alts to 80 though, I still didn't even like make the top 20 in Europe for alt count, which is crazy. It's really interesting to see that you can have 100 level 80s at patch 1.5, right? During the expansion, and that doesn't even put you in the top 20 in the region. So you think about all of the people above you that have even more alts than you already have, and then question what they're doing with them. That's when you start to realise that some people have gone absolutely bananas with this alt army concentration crafting business. And it's of no surprise that... there's people out there making 5 million gold a week doing flipping concentration crafting still. I do worry for their sanity though, oh my god. And that's players that have got max level characters. We're not even talking about characters that got level 70s. Like, I reckon there's players out there with every 65 character slots, all level 70 plus, all doing concentration. I reckon there's people out there with 500 plus concentration alts a week. Unbreakable Iron Idol. I don't even know what that is.
Let's have a quick sit down to recover.
Twilight Dev's fun on the 70 Demon Hunter feels much more impactful there. Well, under normal circumstances, I don't think I should be able to get the enchant, right? Because my Demon Hunter's not got the War Within. How many piggies is that? 8 piggies? One piggy to go. No, who put a mushroom there? Doesn't Zan have like hundreds of the things? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zanzafal's like 200, 250 concentration ults or something ridiculous.
Hang in there.
He's also been... I mean, he seems to be back playing the game again now, but he's been pretty chill for a few months. I don't know if he's been totally keeping up with his crafts each week. Because by the time you got 200 concentration ults, even if you only spend, you know, if you think about it, you spend 2 minutes logging on and crafting on each character, sending it somewhere and logging out. Even 2 minutes, multiply that by like 200 characters, you're like, that's 400 minutes just for one pass. Which is like, what, 6-7 hours or something. You like, and you've got to do that a couple of times a week. It becomes a part-time job doing it at that scale. And 2 minutes is if you are blasting it as well, by the way. Let's not forget, you got 20 seconds for your login time, 20 seconds for your log out time, potentially. You need the occasional few seconds for your brain to remember what the flippin' hell you're doing. If you're in any way multi-boxing it, you're going to have problems with characters having access to the wallbank and not having access to the wallbank and all of that sort of stuff. It's to keep to a 2 minute per character average would be fast. So that's like a best case scenario situation. Optimize login time down to 7 seconds. Yeah, I mean, if you just straight up turn all add-ons off, you can get your login time to be very quick. But for concentration crafting, well, I mean, I guess you can do concentration once you've got it fully set up and you're just doing it on repeat. You could probably turn off every single add-on. You don't need any add-ons at that point to do it. There's the argument that you could do with Craft Sim, and Craft Sim would give you the right material optimization. But the reality is when you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're not worried about being 100% optimal. You're optimizing for speed, which is slam tier 2 everything in, press the button, and go. You know. Yeah, you could probably use 1 tier 1 and 1 tier 3 and save yourself 3 silver, but there's no point trying to figure all of that out. The concept with concentration is that it's meant to be profitable enough that you don't actually have to think about it that much. This is kind of the mistake I made with concentration ults, really. I overthought them. I was trying too hard to extract as much as possible out of them. That was mostly because I was only doing it on like 8 to 10 characters. So I felt like squeezing as much out of it, but I was doing 8 to 10 characters and it was taking me the same time as somebody doing 30, 40 characters because I was trying to min-max them. It didn't make sense. It wasn't worth it. You're going to do it daily with that amount, or are you just going to set days to do it? Well, that's it. At that point, you could either split it up so you do like 50 characters every single day, and so then it's a 1 to 2 hour task every single day. In my scenario, that's not too different to the Mechanica farm, to be fair. You know, I spend an hour or two a day doing the Mechanica farm. Or the alternative is like twice a week you could do concentration and spend like 5 or 6 hours. But twice a week.
I know just how to deal with this.
Barely bother to do concentration on my main crafters, let alone... Well, I don't. I just straight up don't. I mean, if I open my craft sim, this button is embarrassing. Not a single one of my characters am I using my concentration on, even though I've got flipping God knows how many professions where I could. Chester? That's a pet that I don't own. Any takes on add-ons for profile management? Think of getting one to load essential ones for raiding. There was one I used to use that unfortunately seems to have been stopped being updated, annoyingly. The one I use right now is Simple Add-on Manager. I don't know if it's the best out there, but it's what I use right now, and it does what I need it to do. Which is simply, you know, I can make some basic profiles. They seem to work pretty smoothly. I've not had any particular issues. There is sort of bonus categories and stuff you can play around with if you really want. But like, this one's done the job for me quite nicely. I'm sure other people in chat will have other opinions, but worked fine for me. This dude's 38 gold each. Baller pet. This is one thing I haven't done in the War Within yet. I haven't focused on collecting all the pets. So many pets I'm missing now. Unique pets 1,528. 384 uncollected still. Need another Super Squirt day. When's the next Super Squirt day? No, in my luck, one will have been like yesterday or something. Oh, EU. 15th. Oh, there is literally one in like 5 days. That's the next Squirt day. When's the next Super Squirt? Oh my god, it's a Super Squirt day. In like 5 days' time. Damn. So, Team EU has a Super Squirt day in a few days. Well, that's cool. That'll be useful. What day is the 15th? Sunday. That's good and bad. I've got guests coming over on Sunday, I think. Shit. That limits my ability to stand in the garrison all day. Shit. Okay, well, either way. Right, these dudes finished. These dudes are finished. Give him another stack. Oh, you're still going. Wait, hold up. If you're still going, why were you still not going? Why had you finished and you were still... Why have you been hardcore slacking? Huh. Not sure why you're hardcore slacking. Okay. That's weird. Just call them, cancel it. It wasn't my choice. Right, are you all doing something? You're all doing something, right. Where's our next delve? We got the Spiral Weave or Excavation Site 9. I'll go do the Excavation Site 9 because that's relatively easy on 11. Whereas the Spiral Weave I can't really remember, so I'll just do that on 8. Still got a bit of that man flu. What, fake my death on Sunday so we can go stand in the garrison all day. Oh no, wait, hang on, I'm in the wrong zone completely. It was weird. Down with a sudden case of the stomach flu, kept flowing up, shit my pants, could barely leave the toilet. Threw up a couple of hours ago, but last time I feel better, so when are you dropping by tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, sorry, we've made alternative plans.
What's the news? Keep cool out there.
What's shaking, pal? Interesting.
It's clever. It's clever, boys and girls. I like it. It's good thinking, that. Good thinking. One thing I haven't checked, actually, is my computer melting trying to do this. I kind of forgot to check if we're getting, like, drop frames or anything with all of this going on in the background. What does it look like when I've got main account doing main account things? Oh no, we're alright. We're still we're using 40 gig of RAM. Graphics card is chilling. CPU's at 50%. It's fine. Loads of headroom. Loads of headroom. Pretending man flu to game whilst avoiding the friends the wife made plans for. I have a feeling there might be a different kind of pain waiting after. Wow, yeah. Yeah, that would definitely definitely cost some brownie points, let's put it that way. But Mrs. Manthius, Super Squirt Day. The understanding will not be there, I can tell you.
Yo! Keep it real.
I haven't done this for a while. Oh, we've got to turn on the machines and then we've got to defend them, don't we? That's what we've got to do. I remember. Bran, Bran do Bran things?
Strategy in mind for the next fight.
Letting me die? That's not fair. We'll do this one on 11, he says. It's easier. Idiot. If Bran would do Bran things, that would be lovely. Just saying. Where is he? What is he doing? He was just dancing around the back there, not doing anything. Right, I'm going to reset this. That sentence might also get some raised eyebrow. Well, yeah, true. Yeah, this is why you always got to be slightly careful on Googling when's the next Super Squirt Day. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Can Bran play game? Does anybody know off the top of the head if you need enchanting rods to only disenchant? Well, for disenchanting, you probably don't need, well, yeah, you only need maximum skill. Skill's the only thing that's going to affect you. Disenchanting, you're not benefiting from any of the stats. So the only one that gives you skill is the main tool.
What's up? Have a good one.
But when it comes to, if you were disenchanting, if you were doing shattering, then you do need all of them, because shattering benefits of resourcefulness, I think. Somebody might correct me if I'm wrong on that. Or does it even? I can't remember. You can probably get away with just the tool. But with most profession stuff these days, I tend to live by the theory that min-max it anyway, because they'll, like, that way you don't accidentally do something silly. Oh my god, my pet's getting nuked again. What's going on here? Why am I having such a problem in a delve all of a sudden? Okay, right, can we get this on the go properly now? Right, there we go. Right, do some digging. Do some digging. I should also feel like I should probably point out that enchanting does require the epic tool. It's cheaper to get the non-epic one, but the non-epic one has less stats, so just get the epic one. It's an extra 100 artisan security, but you can't skimp anywhere with crafting these days, unfortunately. Okay, that's one of the machines. Here's another one. Kind of concerned it gave me less than 1/5 of. Gave me less than 20%. I thought each one was should give you at least 25%. Something changed in Dells, but I can't tell what. It just took quite a bit more damage across the board. Feels like the last patch they changed the scaling a bit. Oh, really? Is this Blizzard moving the bar again? Midway through a patch, midway through a season. Gotta love it. Ah, what's that? Everybody's getting more gear. Well, let's tweak everything so it's a bit more difficult then, shall we? I don't mind the seasonal concept of that, like every 6 months they have this soft reset on the game. But I do wish during that period of time they'd leave shit alone. Now, if this game breaking, you know, if something's completely busted, fix it, but save the tweaks and the tuning from like a one season to another. Maybe that's not in the, maybe that's not the live service model they're after. Where they got to keep you on your toes in case you even contemplate unsubscribing for 1 minute. Got to keep you busy. Says the dude running 5 accounts simultaneously. I know, I know. Shut up. Right, I really do worry that I've missed 1% of progress somewhere. And then it's going to come back to bite me on the ass when I hit 99% progress on something. Oh, Newt, my pet. Jesus. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't like it.
You won't hit us with that one.
Pet do pet things, brand do brand things. Come on now, game. Don't be silly now. Okay, strong box is upgraded. There's a rare around here somewhere. Ah, there you are. 11s was a bit on the easy side, even with heroic gear only going up 6 upgrade levels. Might just be as easy once we get back to 8 out of 8 upgrades. Yeah, but that's not the point, is it? Like, you don't upgrade your gear for it to be the same difficulty level by the time you've upgraded your gear. You upgrade your gear so that you get stronger and you can lol all the way to the end. This is what's always kind of frustrated me about mob scaling, is that it scales with your item level. So as you get stronger, they get stronger. And it's like, that kind of defeats the object of me getting gear in the first place. You have to outpace the scaling to actually feel any stronger, which so often they mistune. They don't quite get that right, and then it makes it feel like you get more gear and then end up being weaker. Look at the start of expansions where we go from being, you know, we gain 10 levels very quickly, and every level we gain we feel like we get weaker, and they've never really been able to address that problem. And it's predominantly due to scaling. I mean, being OP as all hell at level 1, and then as you slowly upgrade your gear, you become less and less OP until you get towards max level again, and you're at your weakest point, even though you're 10 levels stronger technically. It's just a weird feeling. Oh no, wait, hang on, I'm meant to be doing something with these, isn't I? There's me running off. I forgot I'm meant to be defending this. Pet, come back! Accidentally went on a TED talk. Got distracted. TED talks don't even pay me. Especially when they don't mention it in patch notes. Well, yeah, this is the thing. That's like, they probably haven't changed anything. It's probably just the natural scaling. It's just that, you know, oh, you probably hit an item level threshold and then it triggers another scaling effect on all the mobs. Whether it gives them more damage or whether it gives them more health, so it takes longer to kill them, meaning they do more abilities, meaning you accidentally take more damage. You know, it's all... They may not necessarily actually be hitting any harder, but just because they last longer, because their health pool has increased. I noticed it farming rares in the Undermine at the beginning of the expansion. My main dude that had all of the gear, like the Rat Pit, for example, had like 10 million health for my main character, but then my lobby level 600 alt Rats then only had like 8 million health for. And so it's like, okay, the more gear I got, the bigger the loot pinata got. Or the bigger the damage sponge got. And it's clear that sometimes it goes a bit wacky.
There's treasure close by.
And like I said, it's the kind of thing that might not hit patch notes because they didn't actually change anything. It's just you reached a new threshold of power and activated a new tier of scaling. That was probably already there, you just hadn't unlocked it yet. Levels are somewhat useless by now. It's just item level and mostly dripped content behind max level. Yeah, I'm of a similar opinion. I think they should just get rid of the level. I don't think having a level makes any difference. As for me, it feels like the same argument as like Valor Stones and Crests. Like, you don't really need both. We've got item level. Item level determines your power, significantly more so than your actual character level. much like Valor Stones matter for 5 minutes until you get crest capped, your level matters for about 5 minutes until you get level capped. There doesn't really feel the need to be both. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have a leveling experience when a new expansion comes out. You have new zones, and in those zones there are mobs of different strength. You progress through them based upon the strength of you and your character and your gear. They could really have... They could really be creative with it if they took away the levels. You know, you could activate and unlock... Because right now, you got to reach level 80. It's very systemized, right? You level up to 80, and then you unlock endgame stuff, right? But they could merge it all in and make a 30, 40, 50 hour new expansion experience where you go into a new zone and you unlock, let's say you unlock the mythic dungeons in that zone, but you need to be doing some of the quote-unquote endgame gearing before you can progress into the next zone. If they got rid of levels, they could be a lot more creative in that respect, I think. Because right now, everybody's like, right, well, just zerg to 80 and then start endgame, where they could make a lot more of an adventure out of it and merge it all together a little bit more and just have item level be the be all and end all, which it already is anyway, I think. Everybody could start in one zone and you could unlock the dungeons and the delves and even unlock access to the mythic plus dungeons in that zone. And by the time your item level raises by 50 levels by playing in that zone a bunch, then you can safely progress into the next zone. And you could have 2 or 3 or 4 different zones, much like we do now. But they could make it so that it matters for more than the 5 minutes it takes to level your character on the day of expansion launch. Sure, it'd probably separate the player base a little bit, but I think the player base is pretty much separated at the beginning of an expansion anyway, between those that do aggressive endgame and those that don't, so I don't see it being too much of an issue. And I'm quite sure there's plenty enough players in this game these days. Right, we've got one more to do. I need to get my are these dudes finished again? Can I give them another stack of mats? $16 minutes? 17 minutes? How long? Solid estimation, thanks. 17 minutes. Oh, that'll do. We'll run out of Bountiful for about a minute on those, but we'll be alright. Oh, these dudes haven't got buffs up at all. Oh god, I wonder how much I prospect. I wonder how much I did then without the thaumaturgy buff, without 5% buff. Whoops. Buff up, buff up. Leveling is kind of grandfathered into RPGs concept though. Doubt if Blizzard will get rid of it because it's considered a cornerstone of such games. Not arguing it isn't useless, just that Blizzard's mindset might not let them think outside the box in that way. But is it that grandfathered in? Am I not right in saying like Guild Wars 2, for example, doesn't have levels? Like, it's grandfathered into World of Warcraft for sure. Yeah, I don't know. You might be right. I'd be sad to see it go. See, the thing for me is it wouldn't be going anywhere. It would just allow them to structure the play of the game in a different way. You know, it could really extend the progression curve. Rather than it being very chunked right now, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. They could have, you know, when they make an expansion and they make, you know, a whole new continent, usually, bunch of different zones, you tend to, because right now we have this kind of hacked together system where the very first time, you have to level in kind of the Blizzard preferred order. Then when you get to 80, you unlock adventure mode, meaning you actually then have scaling you can switch scaling on, and then any subsequent character you can level however you wish. Which is just kind of weird in the first place. That, oh yeah, by the way, now you've done this once, your alts can go into a zone that was a level 8, a max level zone for you 5 minutes ago, but it's now a leveling zone all of a sudden. It just feels messy. It feels like it was a solution to a problem that we don't really need to have anymore. And is another one of those kind of slightly weird new player experiences, I think. Like I said, if they got rid of levels completely, that's not to say that, like, leveling wouldn't be important. Questing would still be important. Questing through the zones and progressing through the zones can just be paced differently. You'd still want to do all the quests in the zones, and you'd unlock world quests in that zone at a certain point. You'd unlock the Mythic Plus dungeons in that zone at a certain point, but you'd need to progress through that zone a little bit to unlock that functionality. And they could pace it differently. Whereas leveling today is it's a 5-hour job on day 1 of the patch, and then most people don't even think about it ever again. Yet the amount of time and effort that gets put into the zones and all the quest lines and stuff, it feels kind of a bit of a shame that it gets, you know, redundant in the grand scheme of things, within minutes.
You're looking a bit rough.
If it's that redundant that quickly, maybe a rethink isn't a terrible idea. Tagged the wrong mob then. When in the mood, leveling still has some charm for me. Yeah, I don't really know what the solution is. I just feel that it's with the direction that retail seems to be going in over the last couple of years, it feels more and more and more like a redundant way of doing things.
How you doing?
That a smarter 21st century approach to it could smooth out the process a lot more. But then there's the question of that, how do you go about dealing with all of that with alts and stuff like that? I don't know, with warbands and stuff. Oh shit, let's not stand in whatever's going on here. Was this my third or fourth delve? This was the third, wasn't it? This is my third 11. We need to do the last one. We can just bang the last one out on an 8. We don't need to do it on an 11, really. Just to get that second vault slot for tomorrow. Or we could do it on 11 because it does give us more crests, which is kind of really the only reason I'm here, to be fair. So maybe doing the last one on 11 is not a terrible idea either. I should stand up in a minute though. I've been sat in this chair for like 3 hours straight. Still getting progress towards our traveler's log. Oh, we're like a few points away from getting our molten chimera. I'd kind of forgotten about that, to be honest. I think Blizzard kind of looks at leveling as a way to keep players busy and subbed, that they don't have to think about much. But yeah, levels kind of became irrelevant with the scaling. Not really sure what the solution is. Yeah, me too. Logged in late. How did the 8 mask run go? Well, I'll claim I one-shot it. You may choose to believe me or not. That is up to you. Deep Nautic Helm. An appearance. A funky helm. Yoink. It was actually a shit show that I sacked off pretty fast because it wasn't worth wasting time on. If I'm going to be honest. I just think that too much is complicatedly gated. So hard to access for new players to the game, like access and experiencing side patch zones from old content. They should make that more accessible now that it's not current. Yeah, having sort of like intro quest lines and stuff that still to this day need to be completed before you can unlock certain like zones is mental. All of that needs to just go away. Like once an expansion ends, you shouldn't even have to talk to an NPC. It should just by default be unlocked. If you didn't unlock it during, if you didn't unlock the zone during the expansion, then boo-hoo. Just it's unlocked now. Like there's no reason to lock off. You know, if you want to go to Najatar, for example, to do something randomly, you shouldn't have to start pissing around with like decade-old quest chains and figuring out who to go and where to go and all of this sort of business just to unlock a zone so you can go and speak to a vendor or do some transmog farming or something. It doesn't make any sense. Three different modes of leveling. The I have no patience mode, where it takes 4 hours to get to max level. The I like leveling but only want to do 2 zones max mode, for those who like it as it is. And then the I'm a questing connoisseur mode, for those of us who like to do a whole expansion's main story before we max level. Yeah, this for me is, that sort of summarizes quite nicely what I think about leveling, in that it's, you know, people view it very differently, which could be why that Blizzard can't seem to really make much of a decision on what they want to do with it. Because every time they go in one direction, people are like, well, can we go in that direction? And, you know, the issue never really goes away. I do truly think that Blizzard really suffers with not having a proper story mode, though. Like, they could reevaluate leveling to be just like story mode, such as like it's not so much about questing and completing zones as such as it is telling you the story of that expansion. You know, like an RPG. It doesn't matter if the experience of that story mode is different to what it was way back in the day, but the point should be is that you can progress through it at a reasonable pace, but it should focus on telling the story. I've kind of had this idea for a few years now that they should just use Chromie and make leveling a bit of a solo story mode adventure. Takes like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours to progress through it, but tells you the story of each expansion in like half an hour to an hour bite-sized chunks. Bringing you up to the current day's content. And I think there'll be people that would replay through that and probably, you know, have a blast with it. I still find it pretty bizarre in this day and age we're still reading quest text most of the time. Oh, it's been a bugbear of mine for years, the fact that everything's not voice acted. I think it's, by this point, it's unacceptable that quests are not voice acted from a company the size of Blizzard. It's almost unacceptable that you have to start reading text. Like, fuck AI that shit. If it's not a super duper mega important character, if it's just some random ass NPC, just AI that shit. Just because I didn't sign up to read a book, you know. People don't read quest text as it is. They would not be waiting 2 to 3 minutes for a quest conversation to happen. It's a spicy take, but tough shit. This is the game, right? This is the game. It's kind of one of those same scenarios. If you don't want to play the game, why are you playing the game, sort of thing. Like something like story aspect of an RPG, I think should be somewhat forced upon you. You can always turn around and make it skippable, but the problem with making it skippable is that people will skip it, and then you haven't fixed or solved anything. It's a fine line, but this is my point, right? This is why you want to make it bite-sized chunks. Leveling already doesn't take that long, but they should, if they've designed leveling to take you like 3, 4, 5 hours maximum, they should maybe like chop it down to like a 2-hour really engaging story mode that you can play, and then you've got a level 70 character ready to progress into the War Within, or what will be a level 80 character ready to progress into Midnight, for example. But I don't know. Blizzard will fix it, I'm sure. We got one more delve. Where is it? The Spiral Weave. Let's get one more done. And then there's our delves done for the week. Whilst our delves have been doing, we've been blasting through hundreds of thousands of gold worth of thaumaturgy mats anyway, so it's been a worthwhile adventure. Make some pennies at the same time.
I got a free hand.
My wife would like to learn WoW soon. Would be amazing for her to level 1 to 80 through a guided vanilla to the War Within story mode with all the cinematics and voice acted quests. Yeah, it feels to me like taking a leaf out of Final Fantasy's book, where Final Fantasy often gets praised for its what they call the MSQ, the main story quests. That it, tells a proper story from A to B. And WoW for years, I've always said it, Blizzard are probably very good at writing a good story, but they are shit at telling a story. It's like that guy down the pub that tries to tell you a story and, like, cannot cannot go in a straight line and spends half the time laughing at their own joke, and then then ends up like detouring onto a completely separate topic of conversation before finishing the story. It's so hard to keep up with the WoW storylines. Every expansion I do all the quests on my main and take my time with it. On the alts I skip as much as I can. I don't mind reading or having stuff voice acted once. After that, skippity skip. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the game designer. I would just much rather see them try better to tell a good story in this game. I think it would keep people significantly more engaged with what it is they're doing. Now, gamers will do gamer things, obviously. Gamers will always just turn it into a grindfest, path of least resistance, sort of zug mode, especially when they're doing stuff for the second, third, fourth time. But that mentality shouldn't, in my opinion. Why does it say we don't have a key? I bought 2 keys. Ah. This is delve number 4, that's why. Oh, I'm just going to do it on 8 just to blast it then. Like a toddler telling what happened in kindergarten. Yeah, that's a good depiction of it, yeah. I think Blizzard has interest in keeping it this way, even if it's not intended now. There are 3 classes. Top tier is the premium player that just spends €60 and gets an instant level up. The middle class where more can afford to spend half of the premium by spending just about or less than a token on a level boost in game. And then the third class is the free make it yourself, but it takes way more. Well, yeah, that's the if in doubt, follow the money approach, yeah. It's very tinfoil hat to assume that Blizzard keeps leveling dull and boring just so that they can sell more boosts, but there is probably some truth to it for sure. They don't want to make leveling too interesting, or you might accidentally want to do it more than paying them $60 for it to just go away. Blizzard's storytelling is not good. If you get some from the game, some of the books and the rest, you have to rely on YouTube videos. It's a mess, honestly. Yeah, they can probably write a good story, but they are dog shit at telling it. A lot of what makes a good story is the delivery of it. Why do you think they get flipping Stephen Fry to do audiobooks and stuff? Because the delivery of the story matters. Would you rather have Stephen Fry reading you a novel, or like some coked up scouse dude? You know, there's not many people that will get that reference, but like when a story is told well, it's a much better story. Where's all my bombs? Did I come this way and there's not a single bomb through here? Damn you, game. You fooled me. A little bit surprised that Blizzard have not cracked down on the leveling boosts, but I suppose they can't make it unless they make it blatantly obvious. Well, I mean, there's some argument to say that they are sort of subtly trying. A lot of people seem to assume that these changes to time walking are in vain of the fact that time walking has become the Zug level alts arena. And maybe that rather than outright saying this is not allowed, they're changing the landscape so that people come to that conclusion themselves. Why do you think I was so focused on abusing time walking this week? Because there is the possibility that if they make time walking significantly slower, that it may fall out of being the meta way to level alts. So I wanted to just get it done now. And I was also not willing to wait or rely on Legion Remix to have some sweaty leveling mode like Mop did. That's another thing, that a lot of people seem to be waiting for Mop Remix to level a bunch of characters, when I would not be so convinced that there will be a sweaty leveling mode in Legion Remix. They seem to be doing like a Remix Mythic Plus for Legion, which is the one thing that makes me think that they might nuke the regular dungeon leveling for Remix. Based upon the fact that last time it was a little bit silly. It was maybe a little bit too late to do anything about it when Mop Remix launched last time, but maybe Blizzard might have considered it a little bit silly and something that they might want to not repeat. You never know.
Those webs will summon Nerubians. Don't stand in them. That's more like it.
Tried listening to Mr. Fry's version of the Harry Potter books, but it grated on me. Got a version narrated by Jim Dale from the Carry On movies, of all things, much better. I guess each to their own, I suppose. There were a couple of lore masters on YouTube that are convinced that Blizzard is playing 4D chess with a story and the drip feeding of things, even though they've come up with the wildest theories to string everything together. I wouldn't be overly surprised if it's got something to do with the fact that I don't think Blizzard really plans the story as far ahead as we kind of are led to believe they do. I unfortunately think there's an awful lot of just fucking make it up and make it work. Like, there's a generalized underlying story. But the reality is they kind of like, they just kind of hack it together sort of as and when. Especially, I mean, outside of like the real core main storyline, because this expansion already right now is it's a bit silly when you think about the storyline. You know, this the war within business is kind of like a little bit weird and wacky. You know, fighting Xalatath and all of that sort of stuff, and like dealing with the Nerubians, and then randomly we get this side quests that all of a sudden, like flipping Gallywix is on the wrong side of like, and like it's just odd. It's just odd. And then all of a sudden Visions are back for some reason. What's the storyline behind why Visions are back again? And like, is there any story attached to these dastardly duo things, or is it just a thing? And how did the Siren Isle fit into all of this? It's kind of like there is a very, very sort of first grade storyline under there somewhere. But a lot of it is just like, oh, well, how do we make this fit? Oh, we'll just hack this together a little bit. If you're an absolute lore nerd, you probably try and keep up with the ins and outs of it a little bit more, but it's made so complicated to keep up with, I tend not to even try. Which, like I said, is kind of, you know, it doesn't bother me particularly. But at the end of the day, the game is meant to be an RPG. It is meant to be like a story-based game. There's meant to be at least some story you should sort of partly be able to follow. Tunes have all stopped working. Oh, it's fine. I'll get back to them in a minute. I'm probably not going to do too much with them anyway. After this delve, I'm going to probably do some undermine killing anyway. So they're going to be needed for another purpose. But thank you for the heads up. I totally hadn't noticed. Even though it's on my screen. In that case, we can just do this for now. It's because I want to care about the story, but it's so difficult to try and care about the story. It's almost one of the things you kind of feel like, do I need to level another alt and like deliberately slowly work my way to try and get to grips with the story? Oh God, what are you turning up for now? I didn't order an underpin. Can you kick the bombs at him? Is that how this is meant to work? That's why so many fandoms end up hating on the last movie, episode, season, or edition or something. Pretty sure the War Within is designed as just another expansion until they decided they need to step things up and brought Metzum back to do the World Soul Saga. Then I think they retrofitted the Xalatath story elements into it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the play is particularly. I would just happily be significantly more interested in a story, but they make it so hard to keep up with what the story is that it just gets difficult. Can I still damage him while he's burrowing? Oh, it appears so. Reduce damage, I think not. Down you go. Oh, this was only an 8. I was wondering why that was so quick. Right, treasure room. A friend of mine asked yesterday, do you know about the story in The War Within? And I did not. I haven't cared about the story since Shadowlands because it's just not interesting.
Look around. There's treasure here.
I said I'm sure it's a good story. I just can't keep up with it. Okay, there's a bunch more crests. Nice. Let's convert a bunch of these crests up to Rion crests. See where we stand. I think people put too much faith in Blizzard's storytelling and lore. You need to remember that the whole world started as a parody on a typical D&D style RPG. There's lore, sure, but not as deep and as detailed as many quote-unquote lore masters think. There are general concepts, and the rest is kind of stitched on them as we go. Yeah, I mean, well, there's no doubt, right, that 20 years ago they never really expected to have 20 years of storyline, but this is where you need consistent creative writing, you know.
What brings you here?
Right, we should, I would assume, be able to convert a whole bunch of crests up
Until next time.
to other ranks. To at least squeeze out a few more bonus gilded.
We are united in purpose. May we all find what we seek. There is much to discover.
Go. Another 30 gilded out of all of that.
It is a world of wonders.
Nice. Which puts us at 119 gilded. How do we spend 119 gilded? Now, I should probably consider designating 30 to each piece of crafted gear to get it upgraded, shouldn't I? Get all my crafted gear to 681, really. That seems to make quite a bit of sense to me. Alternatively, can we just max out a single trinket or something? I'm not touching the belt because that's getting replaced next patch anyway. There's no point spending time and effort on this thing when we're going to get a freebie one soon TM. Wondering if I now... Could we take this all the way to like 8 of 8? Oh, you are shitting me. I'm one crest away from upgrading both my trinkets to 8 of 8. One crest away. How's that mathed? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, it should be of higher priority to upgrade my weapon, shouldn't it? That's 30 minimum. I need to get that recrafted. I need to send that over to my engineer, I think. I just earned the meta achievement for the War Within, You Shall Not Pass. I was working on that for a while and I kind of forgot about it. Kind of forgot. As a new player, I realised there's a story when the cutscene and Anzarak started. Didn't even think about it. I just considered the whole Dalaran teleport and boom for a setting. Okay, now you're here, explore this place. Sure, I usually skip text on many games, but WoW just didn't seem like the gameplay needed a story other than a basic excuse to go here. And then micro stories in the quests. I do genuinely wonder how many newer players to the game just kind of don't even realise there's meant to be like a story. It's like, it's so distracted from the fact that it's there. Have I got all of my set pieces to 8 of 8? I think I have. Which is why it won't let me change any of them now. Rings, trinkets, and a random cape. The weird thing is I don't know if it's better to just craft. See, this is where it's actually, this is where crafted gear is more expensive, isn't it? Because I could craft a cape, but crafting a cape is going to cost me 90 gilded crests. 60 to make the thing. 60 to make the thing, and then 30 to boost it to 681. Whereas upgrading it only takes 60 crests. Oh, but then it only gets it to 671. So actually crafting it where possible is still the better play, better use of crests. I do have a spark. We'll just do that. We'll do that for now. I got 59 gilded. One more and I can upgrade 2 pieces of gear. I can upgrade my weapon, and a piece of crafted gear is probably what I'll do. Did I do that? My item level didn't move a single item level. This is the thing now. Diminishing returns on like player power is real. 60 gilded crests, which not so long ago was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks work, didn't move my item level even 1. Which is why I'm not bothering quite as much.
I have many, many wares.
Okay, I think it's time to kill some rares. We can do a quick pass on the rares today. I don't need to be particularly thorough. These dudes have done a reasonably good job. Bunch of stuff. I need to question whether smushing the Blessing Blossom a second time and prospecting the ore adds additional value to this whole process. Blessing Blossom is so cheap, it is probably worthwhile running this through the mill again. Where's Tulok when I need him? Tulok's been doing flipping thaumaturgy on a ridiculous scale that I'm led to believe. Yeah, running the ore through the prospectors, running the cheap materials through the mill again, selling the spears is probably the play. My WoW story has basically been green equals friend, red equals enemy, kill red, loot. It's a good summary. I'm not going to lie. It's a solid summary. Right. Let's get some rares killed. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, boys and girls. I'm going to stretch my legs, quick bathroom break, grab a drink, and then we'll kill some rares and see if we can build up this Mechanica stockpile. Because 9 is not enough to purchase even a single mount if we sell one, which is dangerously low. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Alrighty, okay. Let's kill some rares, shall we? I'm probably only going to bother with the hotel ones today. I'm not even probably going to go much outside those walls. Get a few rares down. Keep the Mechanica total nicely buoyant. If it was profitable to process when you bought it, shouldn't it be equally profitable to process it now if we consider the sell price a fixed value that didn't change during the processing? It's kind of like just resourcefulness. Yeah, you've also got to consider that when you sell it, you take a 5% hit on the auction house cut. So yes, if it was at least, if it was even remotely profitable to craft in the first place, then yes, the answer is you should just run it through the mill again. Not to mention your resourcefulness then stacks more than just the one single time. So yeah, the answer is yes. I'm just kind of justifying it to myself. Thwack. And nobody else. Tally's up somewhere. Where's Tally? There's Tally. I'm not going to do any waiting on the res at all either. The second there's not something to kill, we'll move on. That way we have 0 downtime and we can blast through the teams pretty fast doing it that way. Like I said, being 100% rare kill efficiency isn't really my goal. It's more about banging this out relatively quick. Getting as many Mechanicas as we can in a, you know, an hour-ish. So we need Swigs, Nitro. Swigs nor Nitro up and... Oh, Swigs is up on this realm. Yoink. If we can get 3 of the 4, it's an instant win anyway. Or sometimes we'll occasionally do a second pass in the evening, just trying to snag any that we missed on the first run through in the day. A bit of Nitro anywhere? Is there a Nitro up or should we log out? Doesn't look like Nitro's up. Log them out. Having them standing on the flight point is kind of annoying that it takes 20 seconds to log them out. But it has the benefit of that we can fly off and get Grimewick, and we can fly down and do Candy and Vivi as well. Which means on some days where I'm willing to spend a little bit more time traversing around the map, we can often get up to 7 kills a day on the rares, which definitely helped was it last week before? Definitely helped keep the numbers good. Thwack and Nitro. Let's start. Where's my pets gone? Come on, pets. Faster now. What's the tracking add-on in the upper left? It's just literally called Rare Tracker. You need the Rare Tracker core module and then the Rare Tracker War Within module. It will give you the Undermine Zone tracking. I've customized it a little bit to get rid of a lot of the rares I usually don't bother trying to kill. Tally or Swigs up anywhere? Swigs has just died over here, which is inconvenient. It's also just died on this realm. Yeah, we might not get these two. Log them out. Next team. If you go close to the hotel walls, you get instant log out. You don't really need to move to the entrance. Yeah, I still like just leaving them at the flight path. I might try a few sneaky little locations, see if we can get the best of both worlds, but can we then say, for example, in this corner, does this allow us to be both mounted up? That was reload. That was not the log out button. Can we get instant log out there? No. Oh, you can kind of see we can mount here, but if we go here, we get dismounted. So we're still, that's probably the closest to the flight path. As soon as we stand on this, that's now inside, that's outside, that's inside, that's outside. So them standing here qualifies for instant log out and is still sort of easy enough to run to the flight path, I suppose. That sort of is a happy medium. Any moving at all is kind of annoying though. But I can just I can click to move. Maybe. Right, thwack. As silly as it sounds, that 20-second optimization by the time you're doing it on 20 teams also adds up. We can't seem to find anybody. Can't seem to find anybody up on this team though. Nobody whatsoever. It said Thwack was up, but he's dead. It lies. Nobody to kill. Move on. Swigs, Nitro. Got the whole caboodle here. Oh, whole caboodle. Stop dropping bombs on me head. Oh. Alright, we'll go do Sal. Not normally on my list, but if we pull him down this way. I haven't quite figured out exactly how far we have to pull him. But I tend to stand on this corner here. And by the time he comes around the corner, pew him. And I think he's now technically close enough. I learned this little trick a few days ago. Let's see if it goes red. Sal go red? No, it didn't go red. So him dying there was still not quite close enough. Haha! That's because I've moved 5 yards further away. Because I'm not standing on the flight path anymore. So I need to bring him 5 yards even closer to get him in range. Yeah, if I hadn't moved my tunes. Damn you, Bakoto. Whoops. That 20 seconds is also nice to have a break, a sip of coffee, whatever. Well, that's true, yeah. So, sometimes 20 seconds downtime is not the worst. There was somebody up on this realm as well. I can't remember who it was. Well, we'll find him again in a minute. We need Nitro and we need... Nitro and we need Thwack. Nitro seems to be dead here. We might not get either of those. Oh, hello. Nitro's up on this realm, even though me little add-on's not saying so. That's why we made the mini-map nice and big as well, so we don't have to totally rely on add-ons. We got a Thwack up anywhere? Doesn't look like it. Negative. Swigs? I don't care who's up on any other realm, we take Swigs. Swigs has highest priority. Oh, less dots! Whew. Whack is up on this one. I also need to bear in mind that I'm probably not going to do the rares tomorrow. I've almost signed off to trying to kill the rares on a Wednesday. Far too much hard work competing with everybody else in all the zones on a Wednesday. Which is all the more reason why I wanted to make sure I definitely kill some rares today. Can't go 2 days in a row without killing them. That's not efficient at all. Nitro and Tally. Sal's up on this one. Should we see how far we have to go to get Sal if we're stood over here? It's about another 5 to 10 yards further, isn't it? If all our dudes are standing here. Jesus, dog. Fuck me. Nipsers, get down. Down. Stop barking at the neighbours, dog. Scared the shit out of me. Fucking hell. I was not expecting that. Oh, he's not here. He's already dead. You cost me a Sal kill, dog. Okay. Tally's up on one of these realms. This one. Is that all of them? Is that the 4? I could still do with a nitro if nitro's available. Can I spot a nitro? No, we'll move on. Did it not load? Why does the top left corner 2 not have a mail icon and the others did? That bugged me. It's, yeah, I've also figured out that the mail icon thing, you have to, even though your character screen shows all your characters on all of your servers, if you are not focused on the realm that character's on, you won't get a mail icon. So there's something about the mail tracking that it needs you to also be focused on that server as well. Which is why sometimes you get mail icons and sometimes you don't. And for now I have all of my characters spread across all of the realms. I basically pretend I basically ignore the mail icon because it's never there. Which is a touch weird that they've coded that thing to be server specific. Just as we move into just as we move into a loading screen that is more designed for you to see all of your characters on all of your realms. One of the notifications then still requires you to be focused on that specific realm for it to work. It's kind of odd. It's another one of those multi-dollar company things. Who's this? Tally. Right, Nitro and Swigs after this. No Nitro. No Nitro, no Swigs. When you only focus on the hotel ones, you can really fire through these. This is probably the path I should take most days. Fire through just the hotel ones first. On like a first pass. And then try and do extracurricular activities where I have time or effort. Oh, Thwack's dead. The zero downtime approach. I was using the downtime to do the cross-realm flipping stuff, checking auctions and relisting and stuff like that, though. But as we get more into the swing of that, I'll probably only do that like once every 48 hours anyway. Whereas we're going to be killing the rares every day. In theory. Slugger. Is that all that's up? Getting a few teams recently where we're not getting many rares available. Sort of frustratingly. I woke up this morning and I was borderline convinced it was Friday. You know when you first wake up and you got that sometimes 2 minutes as much as where your brain just isn't functioning yet. You don't know what day it is, you don't know who you are, you like, why am I in a park? No, that's a different story. But you know when you're like that, like I was convinced it was Friday until I like really thought about it. It was like, no, it's definitely not a Friday. It's definitely not Friday. But the problem is it hasn't really passed. I was already just thinking for a second then, like, oh, this is the last day of the week. And I'm like, this is not the last day of the week in the slightest. I seem to be stuck in the future out of nowhere. Then again, I suppose it is kind of sort of the end of the week from a World of Warcraft perspective. Being that we're being that it's reset day tomorrow. Tell us that story. Did you get woken up by being poked by a policeman's truncheon? Everybody's had that story. If you haven't woken up in a park before, you haven't lived. Nitro. Who's the other one we need? Oh, no, that's the complete set. Talking about reset tomorrow, I often do a double stream on a Wednesday. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to this week though. My wife is away on a business trip tomorrow, meaning I'm a little bit more pre-engaged with house stuff. There's also not going to be a stream on Thursday this week. Both I and the doggo have a dentist appointment on Thursday. Not at the same dentist, not at the same time before any smart ass asks the question. So in the morning I am dealing with myself at the dentist, and then shortly after I'm dealing with the doggo at the dentist. So there will be no stream on Thursday, unfortunately. So there's a little bit of disruption this week, but sometimes it can't be helped. Don't go to the dentist, who needs teeth anyway? You know what I mean? Teeth are overrated. Oh, I missed Thwack as well. We nearly had the Wombo combo on the go here. Is Nitro dead as well? Flipping hell. We nearly had the full team there. That's going to think Nitro is there until proven otherwise. I tried to prove it otherwise, but it's not going to believe me. Is that going to be are these two on the same shard? 25? Yeah, they are. Flipping hell. I've got half my dudes on the same shard. Well, Nitro's here. Is this bait or is Thwack actually up? Hey, a wild Thwack appears. Imagine not streaming after the dentist. Think of the content. Well, it's meant to be. Well, I say meant to be. It's booked in as just like a checkup, so I don't think anything's meant to be happening. But it's only in the last couple of years I've been a little bit more religious about going to the dentist, and so it is still very much the case of that every time I go, she does something. Because there's a backlog of problems. Because I don't like the dentist. But I don't know what the plan is this time. Right, no tally apparently. I guess we move on. And I'm hoping that the doggo doesn't need any, like, teeth removed. One of the issues with your standard domesticated Doge is that they tend not to, they wear their teeth out faster because they're not actually using them for their intended purpose. They're not gnawing on sticks and stuff all day long. They'll rob you blind. Yeah, it's not me I'm worried about them robbing blind. I'm just hoping that when the dog goes to the dentist, she doesn't need any teeth out, because that starts to get expensive quickly. Our brown dog, this one, went to the dentist a few years ago and had like, I think it was 4 teeth out in one go. That was a nice €1,000 unexpected. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. If it does, I might put up a GoFundMe on the stream. My doggo needs dentures. A nice new Turkish smile. Not for me, for the dog. Nitro and Tally. Start with Nitro. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, behind a wall. Oh, I got the tag from behind the fence. Check me out. Skills. I tell you what, being in the Undermine and hunting down these rares, I've got surprisingly good with the car. A lot better than I expected to get with the car, considering how controversial I thought this car was going into this patch. I've definitely got better with it. We still have the occasional boo-boo, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. Looks kind of sus running to the same spot, all standing there and then them all logging out, doesn't it? That was the wrong button. Don't know about in other countries, but here in Switzerland, dentists are just pain. No funny medication included, except in rare cases. If they want to do anything, they have to numb me up to, like, I'd rather go to sleep, to be honest, than know what's going on. They got to put me to sleep for a filling. I'm not doing any of that business. My default answer when they give you the injection shots, I won't talk about this too much because I know it puts some people on edge, but like the when they give you the first shot to numb you up and then you sit there for a minute and then they start poking you a minute later and their next question is, can you feel this? And they poke you. I say yes every time. Even if I can't feel a thing. Yes, I felt that. Okay, here's another shot. Boom. Double shot every time. Problem solved. Right, can we get the other ones? 2 down. We can get all 4. This is a dream team situation. Ooh, hello. I might be better with the car, but that doesn't mean the camera doesn't do funky things still. Drive like Barry Schumacher. No confusing me with the real thing. Hopefully this will mean that tomorrow's mailbox is padded with a whole bunch of Mechanicas.
How you doing, pal?
Probably won't be a huge amount because these hotel rares aren't the most lucrative. It's actually the weekly rares that seem to have the best drop chance by quite a way. This is why I put such a high priority on killing some of those weekly rares. That I know Wowhead says they've only got like a 4 or 5% drop chance, which is only a little bit more than like a 3% on Swigs, for example. But it genuinely feels like they have a much higher drop chance. It can't be a coincidence that on the characters that don't kill the rares, on the teams that don't kill the weekly rares, they almost unanimously always end up with less Mechanicas than the teams that have killed the rares. Even though everything goes to the mailbox, I can't technically differentiate between what I killed and where I got the Mechanica from on a lot of these tunes. But I really do think the weekly kills account for way more than the drop rates would indicate. Nobody up on this realm. Nobody up on this realm. Oh, gold. We've only got a nitro to kill. That's not a great start. Something better turn up double time. Whoa, also, we've also only got half a team. Where's the rest? There we go. Oh, and that nitro is also dead. Flipping, Lord have mercy. Okay. Oh, gold. This could be a hard flop. Clean sweep of nada. That's not what we're looking for. Probably on Bakoto's realm. Okay. Well, like I said, we're not hanging around. Nothing to kill. Move on. You win some, you lose some. Probably should have done this at the head of the stream, really, rather than the tail end of it, but I've been mixing it up a little bit. Tally and Nitro. Kind of looking forward to next week a little bit, actually, because we haven't got a big event next week, I don't think. So next week can be focused a little bit more on the cross-realm arbitrage flipping business, which will I need to spend some gold in. We need to spend a lot more time devoted to hunting for deals, I think. Well, not necessarily deals, even if it's just getting a 20 items or so that are of value that we can sell, even if it's only for like minimal margins on each realm, just to kind of get things ticking over. We can always cycle out the slower seller items or the lower margin items once we feel we're dealing with too much stock. Actually, next week is going to be figuring out pets a little bit more. I realised yesterday something that I wasn't really aware of, but you're often not aware of these things until it slaps you in the face. But when you have a shared guild and you drop down a war chest and you put pets in a guild, all of the flipping pets show up as pet cages and you don't know what's in any of them, which is kind of annoying because my plan was to use the guild to distribute even the pets, because I'm trying to avoid the fact that the war bank and the pet journal is a bag of dicks when you're doing multi-account stuff. So I need a better solution. A better solution that I haven't figured out yet. The solution might be just not to sell pets. Guild bank. Oh, that was a guild bank. All the pets put in the guild bank just show up as pet cage. And it's like, okay, that makes distribution a little bit more tedious to deal with. Hang on, we're all teamed up. We're not meant to be all teamed up. We're meant to be separated so we can see stuff. Anything to kill. I need a swigs. We found thwack somewhere. It might be that this will be the incentive for me to clean out my war bank, and I'll just use the war bank and a bit of the pet journal for pets, and we'll use the guild bank for everything else. It's not ideal because it means I am going to have to deal with the account shuffling, which I was desperately trying to avoid. Hence why putting the time and the effort into getting them all in the guild and getting them all the guild rep and so on, but I've needed a reason to clean the war bank out for a while. Pet journal's easier to unlock on an account than the war bank, I think. Depends how many accounts you plan using for that. Well, it's these 4, which makes it problematic. And it's the same. It's the pets are the same system as the Warbank. You have to log everybody out and then log in the one that you want to have access. There's no retro cheeky log one out and then the other one automatically gets it system. You just have to log everybody out and log in the one that you want, which is annoying. So we'll consider our options. The options might be that I just don't focus very much on flipping pets. I was going to use pets as a slower seller, but relatively reliable, but lower margin way to just like distribute a bunch of stuff out. But we might just stick to recipes and mogs and stuff instead. Yeah, it could equally just be that, you know, once a week I cycle through each character individually to restock their pets. And if it sells, and, you know, it can wait till next restock regardless. Which isn't necessarily the end of the world doing it that way. You don't need to log anything out for the pet journal. Only the one that it's active on. And reload the one that you want it on. So, by that theory, you could swap the pet journal but not the warbank. So, for example, where I have warbank access on my main character here, and in turn then equally pet journal access, you're saying that we could, if I reloaded this one, who has pet access, if I reload oh, you have to log out the one that's got access and then reload on the one that wants it. So if I logged out here, hang on, let's do this. So if I log out here, and you're saying that just a reload on this account, once this has logged out, would give it, it won't gain warbank access because warbank is stupid, but it would give it pet access. So as of right now, no pet journal access, but we do a reload. Still doesn't claim warbank access, but now it has. Ah, okay. Still requires shuffling them a bit, which kind of goes against the mantra of doing it 4 at a time, which was kind of the point. Out of curiosity, does this dude have warbank access as well now? Or do you have to log out for warbank? Yeah, you got to log out for warbank. How flipping weird. How weird that that clearly shows that they've designed and implemented the same system twice, right? Rather than just like it. Okay, they've coded it all clearly separately twice. That they haven't just used this. They just need to give the warbank the same treatment as the guild bank and let all of your characters use it. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Well, it's interesting you can shuffle the pet access around at least. I didn't believe that was the case, but science has proven otherwise. For Warbank, it's a log out. Who knows why? Don't know. Okay, where did we get to? I've lost my rhythm. We were Nitro or Tally or Thwack. We've killed like one dude on this team. It'd be nice to kill something else, but nothing else is up. Tally's up on this, apparently. I'm not sure I believe that. I didn't think that was true. Dead. Okay, move on. Nothing to kill, not hanging about. If you can use the Warband Bank, it's much faster. When I switched months ago, I easily halved my restock and posting time. Well, that's true, yeah. To be able to use the Warbank would make restocking much quicker. I don't know. We'll see. These are things that we'll figure out as we come across them. None of this particularly matters in too great a detail anyway until I've actually got a reasonable amount of stock distributed across all the different servers anyway. I'm seriously short on stuff to sell anyway, since, you know, we started this 5 minutes ago. That said, I've got bank characters from over the years that I should probably just log on and just clean them out and like get all of that stuff sold. Probably 20 million of just random stuff knocking about on old expansion bank characters that are just gathering dust. Thwack, Tally or Nitro are not up anywhere. What is with these teams? What is with these teams not having any rares to kill? Bit of Pedro in the background as well. Kept the tunes quiet today. Haven't got a headache or nothing, but it's felt nicer having them in the background. Okay, once again, clearly nothing to kill. Not having a lot of luck with these recent teams. It's totally the wrong time for me to clear out my war bank because material prices is what populates most of my war bank, and the material prices are rock bottom right now. The logical thing to do would be to wait until season 3 pops off and clear my war bank out then. I'd gain probably 20, 30, 40% more if I waited. Maybe cleaning the war bank out can basically just be I throw it all on a bank character and then deal with it all in a few months' time. There's also the risk then of that the mailbox monster munches it and I forget about it and I lose all of it completely. So there's a 50-50 on that one. Well, you can send shit to an alt. You technically get 60 days then before the mailbox monster munches it. Because in 30 days it will get automatically transferred back to you. And and then 30 days after it's been sent back to you, then it gets deleted. So maybe it's not a bad idea just to mail it all to an alt and then wait till it all just comes back and then do it again, so that I don't technically have to sell it all. Is that garbage up or is that tally? Oh, it's garbage up. We don't often get a garbage kill. That's a timings thing more than anything else. Right place, right time. Oh, but it may be that that's the only rare we get. Nitro Swigs or Tally would be lovely. Please, game, if you would. Never lucky. Oh, hang on, Nitro. Caught me just before we logged out then. Bank characters with full slots and a reagent bag can hold a lot of shit, to be honest. Well, that's true. We could just bank it all for a rainy day. Mail it from the main, you won't forget. Yeah, that way I won't forget, because in 30 days' time it will land back in my mailbox. And it will be a constant reminder to do something about it until I do something about it again. Oh, did a wild woo appear? Welcome in, welcome in. I don't have friendly nameplates on, so I tend not to notice other people knocking about. Swigs. No, less dots. Son of a... In fact, Tally and Swigs is up on this realm, apparently. Haha, winning. Okay, we went from not getting any of them to potentially getting all of them. That's nice. In hindsight, I'm not really convinced that the war bank is actually the best place to store materials for crafting anyway. With how crafting has sort of ended up being once again a game of just a lot of processing, the war bank actually can't hold enough. When you're buying 100,000 of a material in one go, to prospect it or to thematigize it or to mill it or to whatever you're doing, to be able to craft at scale, you can't, your warbank just doesn't go very far at that point, which is a change of opinion that I had from the beginning of the expansion, where I was like, yep, my warbank is for mats, it's only ever going to have mats in there. But the reality is nowadays actually all it contains is a very small selection of a little bit of everything. Predominantly for patron orders, and that's about it. Now, you're not going to make enough gold from patron orders for it to be worthwhile it taking up your entire war bank. So, I don't think the decision to clean it out of all of its mats and use it for cross-realm flipping is a terrible one. I just need to do it. It's like one of those house chores that you know you need to just do it, but you put it off. by killing more rares. Enjoy your food, Sensi. Thank you for stopping by. Catch you next time. Nitro and Tally. Nitro's up somewhere. It is kind of funny though, even though I don't have nameplates on, I do quite frequently spot the same players running about, killing all the rares. You'll phase in and out of, you know, you'll phase in one place and you'll spot somebody. You'll phase somewhere completely different and you'll see the same character. It's quite funny. Doesn't look like we're going to get Tally, does it? Galagio spawned in random locations. Oh, all of these dudes are trying to chill on the same flipping realm. That's half the problem. Yeah, 3 dudes on the same flipping shard. That's not ideal. Right, 2 more teams. We should be able to blast through these real fast now. Doesn't take too long when I only focus on doing the hotel rares. But it should mean we open the mailbox to 4 or 5 more Mechanica tomorrow. Oh, do we take the server that's got 3 up, or do we take the server that's got swigs on it? In fact, it's got swigs and flipping everything else. This could be a goated shard. One. Two. Right, we can snag Thwack as well. This is a perfect quadra kill. Yes. Lovely. Nice. Put them on the curb. I'll see how I feel about this curb situation over the next couple of days. Because I can always, just testing, I can always click to move and they move, which is fine. Then you just got to put them back when you finish. I'm not sure if putting them back on the curb is any faster or slower than just taking the 20-second log out anyway, by the time I've done it 4 times. Oh my god. Another shard with everybody up. Yes, please. 2 teams in a row? Don't mind if I do. Must be on some back end of nowhere realms. Zol Narub. Wherever the hell that is. Why do I look like a female Draenei? How's this worked? Who's changed my... Oh no, we lost Nitro. Does that mean we've lost Thwack as well? Not like this. Okay, we got Thwack. Oh, was that you, was it? What have I been changed to? Automatically recalibrated, experience the world from a new perspective. I was like, I am not a goblin. Since what's going on here? Do you reckon there's anybody that plays this game in first person? Like, out of choice? Not just for the lols? Yeah, it doesn't want to get in the car. Right, Nitro to finish the blast off. If we can find a Nitro. No Nitro, no Nitro, no Nitro, no Nitro. Okay, well, we tried. We tried. 'Twas a successful run. All the same. Right, there we go. There's all the teams done. That feels, boys and girls, actually, like we've sort of achieved a bunch of stuff today, even though it also doesn't feel like I've done a lot. Well, we didn't do very well with our 8 mask runs. That kind of flopped. I'm clearly a bit rusty with visions, and I didn't really want to designate in the entire day as the last day in the week, the day where I should be getting some busy work finished for the week, to smash my face against the keyboard doing eight mask runs. We'll consider revisiting Stormwind at some point in the future then to do an 8 mask run. I'm not overly bothered by missing 1 mount out of the event. I'm going to leave it there for today. We will be back tomorrow. As mentioned earlier, this week's schedule's a little bit scuffed as I've got more IRL stuff going on, but we will be back for our usual stream tomorrow. There probably won't be a bonus stream, unfortunately, but we'll get the usual stream as it's reset day and all. And then we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But boys and girls, thank you very much for joining. I will be going and getting some food. You might catch me over on Discord in the evening, or maybe on a Mr. K-Chak stream or something. We will see, we will see. But thank you for lurking. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. Thank you for the follows, the bits, the subs, all of the love. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.